Hello, everyone, and welcome into The Drive. Aaron Jackson and Mark Paulette here for you. Today, brought to you by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. Here's what we have on our rundown today. We're going to talk some Celtics in the Summer League and what can we learn from that. We have Mike Bordick, former Major League Baseball All-Star, Mainer, longtime Oriole broadcaster as well. We'll talk to him at 4:30. We have a home run derby contest. You'll call in. We'll give you a slugger out of the bucket of wonder, and the winner gets a $25 pass to Heroes and 2 movie passes. So,
yeah.
Second hour of the show, the drive poll. We'll talk some CBA and NBPA. Lots of acronyms there.
A lot of things happening there.
And then we'll go to buzzer beaters. And tonight here on the ticket, we have that home run derby, the best thing you could ever listen to on radio.
Back. Yeah, I don't.
Is it still him?
No. It hasn't been
I didn't
Boomer
think
for
so.
several years at this point, Chris Berman. Yeah, that's not something that is going to get me to tune. Even on TV, like I might check in for 5 minutes on the home run derby, but hey, we're making someone a winner here on today's show.
That's right.
There will be at least 8 of you that want to watch that closely to see who will be taking home the crown tonight.
My wife and I normally do the same thing. We've got a bucket. We throw the names in. We pick them out. She doesn't really care, but we bet like something, maybe a Big Mac, something of small value that we can.
It's been years since I watched more than 5 minutes of a home run derby.
I still don't watch it. But
like around, you're probably going back to childhood at this point.
Yeah.
It has been a long time since I've sat down.
Now, are they changing it at all? Have they changed?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I could not tell you.
Yeah.
Probably not a great way to start today's show because it's a topic I know nothing about.
Well, what you wanted to start and what I was talking about before the show, Mark, is
floating.
Yeah.
I am concerned that my co-host isn't going to make it through the 2 hours with me because your brain right now is just floating free, and I don't know that there are many thoughts in there or many synapses firing at the moment.
See, I should have rescheduled. So if you've ever done a sensory deprivation float,
He's losing his words now.
They're life-changing. I love them. But when you leave it, you feel, as you should, relax. Like I feel like a wet noodle.
Sure.
And
the mind's not, the gears aren't churning when they went in.
Yeah, and when you think of like sports talk radio, it's fast-paced, it's on your feet. And what I should have done is rescheduled for tomorrow when Jim sent out the schedule. On whenever he did. I don't remember. But I didn't. And so here I am. I left it a little early, and I'm here, and I'm a wet noodle, and I'm just going to go at the pace I feel like going at, Mark.
Yeah. Now, for context, like one of my vices for a long time have been energy drinks because for years I would crack one before the show started at 4 o'clock because it was, I don't know if it was placebo or it actually made the mind go, but it's like you got 2 hours to fill here. Dead air on radio, kind of a bad thing. You got to have an active conversation going. So I would like jitter myself up and get a little anxious going into shows just to make sure I would have the power for 2 hours. You're coming in here already kind of sputtering to the start line.
Well, I'm not. I'm just moving at a different pace, Mark.
All right.
Just moving. I got
You're
my
just free and flowing through today's show.
Relaxation drink.
Oh, God. I got Tristan Casas over here in the co-host chair with me today.
Well, if I start taking off my pants and trying to stick what out the window to get a tan there, you know what's happening. But here's the thing. Life is good. It's beautiful weather. Red Sox are playing well. I have a favor I want to ask of our listeners.
Okay.
So you and I have been very adamant that we are not believers in this Red Sox team. And in the drive poll today, I think we'll touch on this as well. But I have talked to a number of people over the weekend, and the first thing they wanted to say to me was, how about them Red Sox? With a smile on their face, a positive attitude, and I had to poo-poo all over them. And frankly, after the 4th time doing it, I felt bad. So I want the callers to call in and try to convince Mark and I why we should be believers in this Red Sox team.
And we won't poo-poo on you like Aaron was poo-pooing on his people.
I've already poo-pooed on too many people. I'm done. I'm not going to rain on your parade. I'm going to sit here.
I'm going to
lean back.
The floor.
I'm going to listen to what you have to say, and I'm going to say thank you for your time.
And if you make an argument that makes a case, presents a case for us to
I'd love to be convinced.
Well, we will freely tell you if you are convincing.
I want nothing more than to have a fulfilling summer where the Red Sox are relevant. That is a dream. And so if someone is willing to convince me that is the case, that they are back, I'm willing to listen. So 992-9029. We'll open up the phone lines now. We'll open up again in the second hour of the show at some point. Just to, if you are a believer in this Red Sox team, or you want to be a believer and you're trying to convince yourself, you want to convince us, give us a call.
Yeah, and I think at this point, like they have shown enough to make you believe they're in the conversation right now. But what is their back, quote unquote, right? Like, does that mean they're just in a wild card spot? They're in that illusion of contention. You can see them actually winning series and making noise in the playoffs, because after the 9-game win streak, you can't sit here and say they're not in contention. They have climbed over 4 teams now in the race, and they are tied. There's 2 teams tied for the last wild card spot, Minnesota and Seattle, right? And then it's the Red Sox, half a game behind them. So they are no more than just one team in between them and that spot. It's only half a game. Only 2 of the teams in the American League wildcard chase, New York and Cleveland, are over 500. Just the state of this league is such that the Red Sox at 2 games under are right there with everybody else. But I feel nowhere near as confident in this team's ability in the postseason compared to what I thought last year at this time. That was a team that went on a 10-game win streak going into the break with Roman Anthony at the top of the lineup, with Alex Bregman in the lineup. Granted, he probably wasn't at this time last year, right? But the prospect of having him at the end of the year was still there.
Trevor Story was playing well.
Trevor Story was having a good offensive year. They had more capabilities at that side of the plate, on that side of the ball. This year's team is the best collection of pitching in baseball currently. They have a sub-2 ERA going back a month and a half at this point. There are only 2 other teams below a 3.00 ERA over that same stretch. If they somehow were to go out there and add 2 bats at the deadline, because it's really not just 1 bat. I need a couple of run producers in the middle of this lineup to consistently get this team from 3 to 4 runs to 5 to 6. Because when you get them to 5 or 6, this team is on a 115 win pace over 162. So if you go out there, get a couple of bats at the deadline, maybe then I believe, or I at least change my perspective on what I think is possible. Because as for this team, yeah, they can probably get to that point, and the pitching will be great to keep them in it. But we saw this story last year.
Sure did.
The 2-run home run, the 3-run home run, a lot more valuable in the playoffs than trying to string together singles and doubles.
Yeah. So 992-9029, no one's calling, so that tells me that no one has confidence in this Red Sox team, and they are with us.
The drive poll would skew in that direction. Not that no one has confidence, but just kind of like what I stated. Like, you still have to be real about it, right? A 9-game win streak, they're not even at 500.
Yeah. I was wondering because, again, over the weekend at a restaurant, had someone approach me saying, how about those Red Sox, kind of laughingly. Had a cousin texting me about it, had another family member asking me about it. There were probably half a dozen people over the weekend that said something along the lines of, hey, we are, not that they were believing, simply that they were along for the ride and they were feeling excited and optimistic about the team, which is more than I think we could say at any point this season.
You really haven't had that opportunity before the last 16 games, right?
Yeah. So what I'm afraid is happening is that our listeners have been so berated by us and so devastated by us every day telling them not to believe.
We're not that powerful, Aaron. Don't give us too much credit.
I mean, Jim in the corner is quite convincing. He's quite vociferous about his hate of the Red Sox, and so I think it's permeated all of us.
And that's just one person's opinion, though.
Let's go to the Heroes Hotline. We have somebody. Who's this?
Hi, this is Wayne.
Hey, Wayne, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from a car approaching Hamden right now.
All right.
What are we thinking, Wayne? You back on the wagon or not?
This is the deal, okay? This is history. We always have the Red Sox doing well just before the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm. That is a common occurrence.
The All-Star break is over and the Red Sox are ready to play again. They fall flat on their face.
Wayne, I'm glad you called in.
Darn it. No, he's right, though.
I'm glad that he makes this point because it's turning into a tradition.
Unlike any other. Going back the last 4 years, Wayne, I'm sure this is what you're going off. In 2023, they were 8-1 going into the All-Star break. The next year, 10-3 going into the break. Last year, 10 straight wins going into the break. This year, 14-2 plus 9 straight wins. But the way I kind of view it is like, in a basketball game, when a team goes on a 28-2 run to try to overcome a 30-point deficit, they might get within 2 or 4 or even tie the game, but then they've expended all their energy just trying to get back to level footing. Yeah, and I don't... The trend is... It's hard not to notice it, Wayne. We've noticed it before, and I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. Why do you think that is? Why is it that this Red Sox iteration of this team over the past half a decade at this point, frankly, finds some sort of rhythm before the All-Star break and then falls off a cliff? Is it just that other teams aren't caring as much? They're ready for a break, so the Red Sox take advantage? Or is there something else going on?
Well, the Red Sox are running on fumes. I mean, they've been very lucky, very fortunate on this streak that they've had, but they can't sustain that with what they have. I mean, there will be Garrett Crochet possibly coming back. We'll have Roman Anthony possibly coming back. Those are things to look forward to. But then you've got the players that are doing well. Abreu, Contreras, they could fall off the cliff. So it just happens.
Kind of like
tradition. I don't know why Boston just has that issue. Maybe it's the curse of the Bambino. Maybe the Yankees being interleague. I don't know what it is, but there's some reason that they always seem to fail after the All-Star break. I'm enjoying this streak, and I hope it continues. But I've just seen too many times.
So are you still able to enjoy this, knowing that the anvil will fall around the corner, or does it kind of leave it a little gloomy for you?
Well, this year I just kind of lost hope early on.
Yeah.
So I haven't really had a lot of faith that they're going to go very far. Once they fired Alex Cora, I knew they weren't going to end up very well. No, Tracy's done okay, but he's not the answer. I don't think long term.
Probably not.
It's just gonna have to take. Yeah, they're gonna have to make some smart moves, or whether it's trades. But once they get rid of some key players like Devers or anyone that's of value, because they've lost faith in them, and unfortunately.
I think we might have lost him there at the end.
Yeah, he was starting to fade for a little bit, but thank you. If you can hear us, thank you for the call, Wayne. Great analysis.
The points were valid, and kind of what he's getting at there is that those last 4 years, they've gone into the break on extreme heaters. At the same time, they got off to very disappointing starts in those seasons. So I think a lot of it might just be regression to the mean. Like, they weren't as bad as the first half suggested up until that point. They're not as good as the last 16 games I've suggested.
It is very strange to see this movie playing out now for the 5th year in a row. Like, that is weird, right? To have them do this thing where they win a bunch
and then catch fire.
Right before the All-Star break. Like, it can't just be random, right? One time, okay. 2 times, sure. 3 times, all right. But, like, if you flip the coin and you give it heads 5 times, you've probably got a weighted coin. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know if it's just that other teams are like, we're ready to go. I mean, Joe Castiglione talked during the broadcast yesterday about how normally the game before the All-Star break is a fast one because the guys are done. They're tired.
I mean, the Mets gave away that game yesterday in the 9th inning, too. That's the other part of it that we haven't really said. It's the first time all year the Red Sox were, I think, 0-43 or 0-44 when trailing by 2 runs after 8 innings. Yeah. And they ran into the team that plays even worse defense than they do on their worst days.
Poor Juan Soto, man. That guy. I mean, he's making plenty of money.
He feeds into the suck, though.
Yeah, but he's still very good.
He's a very good hitter. He is extremely one-dimensional.
What do you mean? Like
that's all he does. He doesn't run. He doesn't field. He doesn't. He sulks. He doesn't do too much.
I feel like he would if he was on a good team, and it's his own fault. I mean, he decided to take the money and go to the Mets, and if he was on the Red Sox, I'm not sure he'd feel that much differently. But I do kind of, as someone who has followed him, and he's just such a good pure hitter, and the way he just doesn't swing at anything outside the strike zone is remarkable. And he's still, it's 26?
Yeah, still super young.
Crazy. So anyway, thank you again for the call, Wayne. We're sorry we lost you there at the end, but some great points. And unfortunately, we have yet to have anyone even try to convince us that the Red Sox are for real.
Well, we still got an hour and 45 minutes to go.
That leads me to believe that maybe we are just where we should be and that we are not bringing people down. Because I was worried about that after so many people were very positive over the weekend, but maybe I just happened upon some very positive people.
Happened upon a clutch of glass half fullers.
Yeah, and even then, when I pushed back a little bit, it didn't take long for that Jenga tower to crumble into like, oh yeah, you're right. But it's like, I didn't want to be the one pushing back. I wanted to be the one that was positive and happy.
It's not our doing. The Red Sox have done this to us.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally accurate and true. We're brought to you by Greenway Equipment, your locally owned John Deere dealer. See the Smith Brothers in Bangor and Ellsworth because nothing runs like a Deere. We have another caller on the Heroes Hotline. Who's this?
Hey, how we doing? This is Peter.
Hey, Peter, where are you calling from?
I'm just driving home into Hancock right now out of work.
All right. Are you going to convince us? Do you have an argument that can tell us that the Red Sox are back and we should believe?
I'm not great at arguing, but I'm telling you, I'm driving this wagon until the wheels fall off, brother. We're here for it.
All right.
Now, is
9 wins? I mean, come on.
Is that just like anytime the Red Sox win 9 in a row, your heart's always going to be in it? Because a piece of my heart has that same exact feel. Like, no matter how cynical I want to be in these 2 hours on this show, I'm still going to go home and turn on the TV and watch 9 innings tonight.
Well,
not tonight, or
yeah.
the next 4, but you know what I'm saying.
Of course, yeah. I mean, when we're doing well, it's always a nice morale boost. I think at the end of the day, if you, I think it comes down to the fan base, and if you want your team to do well, they need to feel that from your people, and that's no knock to you guys. You guys are just calling it how you see it, and you obviously have more experience than I. But I think we just need a little more positivity around here.
Yeah, hey, listen, that's what I'm trying to get people to call in and give us. I could use that, I think. So, Peter. What is it? I mean, obviously winning games helps, but what is it about this team that gives you confidence they can sustain that?
Personally, right now, I think we're starting to really break into our stride. Obviously, losing Cora was a hit to the clubhouse and morale and kind of shook everybody up. And then, obviously, Crochet and Anthony's a bummer, too. But I think we're really starting to see some other guys come into their stride and really pick up the weight, and that's kind of promising for me.
We need more Peters in the world.
Yeah, I love the positivity. Is there any one player in particular that you're like, yeah, that's the guy, like he's becoming a leader in front of us?
Honestly, I was having this discussion with my younger brother today, and we were going back and forth between Cedon and Willier. And I'm a big Cedon fan. I always have been, and I always will be, regardless. Hypothetically, he goes somewhere. I hope he doesn't. I hope he sticks around, but. I think those two guys are really, really putting on right now.
He settled into that 2-hole nicely.
And they have him locked up for a while.
Yeah, a little bit. He's on one of those deals. And he's off in Philly right now as an all-star.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you for the call, Peter. We appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. You have a good one. Thank you.
Yeah. I like the positivity. I feel
we
it.
got one.
Now, he didn't convince me, but he did at least give me a little ray of sunshine. Yeah.
He made you feel it, and that's all that matters.
That's all I'm looking for. So again, throughout the show today, 9929029, if you would like to weigh in and give us some positivity, because I do feel like our show in particular, as Peter said, we call it like we see it, and we haven't seen much positive. And so now...
It was a pretty bleak first 70 games, though. You can't hang that all on us.
No.
It was the first team since 1967 not to win at least 30 of those first 70.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm right there with you. Like, I'm mired in the muck, and I watch this team win these games, and I'm not going to say, like, I'm upset about it, because I'm not, because that would be weird. I'm, like, in the corner.
It's just like, do you see Andrew Monasterio cranking 2-run homers down the stretch race of a pennant?
2 home runs this week.
Anthony Siegler getting clutch hits at the top. It could happen, but it's a
lot of
a big ask.
Yeah, is Cedane Rafaela going to have as good of a second half as he has the first half? And maybe as Peter said, I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan of his since I remember comparing him to Mookie Betts when he was in Portland and I saw him for the first time. So everyone knows I'm a big supporter of him, but is he capable of doing what he's done in the first half and the second half? I don't know.
We got to see it because last year he fell off a cliff.
Wilson Contreras having the season of his life.
Yep.
Is that going to continue? There's so many question marks that I have a hard time with it, but I'm trying to get the positivity back in my...
We got our one caller of positivity, and you just tank it with 2 minutes of going through your checklist.
Because I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet. But Peter, thank you for the call, and thank you for the ray of sunshine, and maybe someone else will pile on. That's what it is. You can't have one ray. You got to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get multiple rays of sunshine, 15, 20 minutes out there. You feel better.
It's kind of like this win streak. Like 2, 3 games, it's not going to do anything to you. 9, you're starting to turn the tide. We really need like 12 to 15, though, to get beyond the hole that was dug.
That's absolutely right. Hey, brought to you by Heroes Sports Grill and Entertainment Center. Heroes is the place to be in downtown Bangor and at heroesportsgrill.com. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little Celtics. They've played some Summer League games. Is there anything we can take out of that? Welcome back to The Drive. Guess what? McDelivery through Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. You can get a great deal. 2 sausage McMuffins with eggs, 2 hotcakes, 4 hash browns, 4 small hot coffees, all for just $19.99. The bundle over 40% off for a limited time. Order at your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street, Union Street in Bangor, and Wilson Street in Brewer. Also brought to you by UMaine Athletics. This fall, it's time to pack the stands at Alphon Stadium and cheer on Maine football. Their season tickets are on sale now. You get the best value and best seats for every home game. Visit goblackbears.com/tickets. So Celtics played Summer League games. It then asks the age-old question, if no one watches the games, do they really happen?
Summer League is becoming a bigger thing. The NBA is trying to make it a bigger thing where all these games are on like ESPN, ESPN2, Prime Video. They're all in one location, whereas remember before it was like you'd have some teams out in Vegas, you'd have some teams down in Orlando. You never really knew what was going on. Now it's all in one site. They try to make it kind of like the NBA world descending upon Vegas for a couple of weeks here during a very quiet time in the middle of the summer when they can grab some headlines. Celtics beat Toronto in overtime on Friday night. They beat Charlotte last night. I don't really know what you can take away from these games. Amari Williams was really good in the first one, 23 points, 13 boards in 29 minutes. Last night, not as much, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, also in like 20-plus minutes. Hugo Gonzalez is really the one guy that I'm kind of looking at through all this because, like, in the first game against Toronto, 17-10-8, I think if Hugo was playing like 35 minutes a night, eventually he could get to a place like that. Jim and I were having this conversation on Friday where I don't think he's ever going to be a big-time scorer. I don't really see Hugo Gonzalez averaging more than like 15 to 17 points at his max, but I see him averaging 9 rebounds and 8 assists and doing everything to affect winning. So I'm curious, can he not get to that point this year, but can he make the jump from what we saw last year to be like the 7th or 8th guy in their rotation this year and be a key contributor to what they're trying to do?
Yeah, he reminds me of a slightly bigger, I don't even know if he is bigger, but he acts bigger, version of like an Alex Caruso of the OKC Thunder. Like a guy who is not really great at anything. He's very good at everything, and he just is. He's a heady player. Yeah, good defensive player, heady, and just right place, right time kind of guy, like Marcus Smart used to be, but without the head case of I'm going to jack up 25 threes in a game.
Exactly.
I do worry because of the Antetokounmpo thing that people are going to heap the expectations on him like you wouldn't believe because, and I don't think the rumors turned out to be true. But at the time, it was, well, they lost out on Giannis because they wouldn't include Hugo because they think so much highly of him.
And as we came to learn, it was Hugo and also Baylor and also a couple other picks, which were really the sticking point.
But I don't think, like, that got lost in translation for most people. Yeah. And most people look at this and say, man, they could have had Giannis if they had given up Hugo. That means they must really be high on Hugo, which means he must be really good, and we just haven't seen it yet. So I feel like people are going to expect this next season for him to be like the 6th man of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't, he may be someday that type of player. He's still very young, very inexperienced. He's got a lot to learn about the flow of the game. He'll get an opportunity to be that guy, but I think you're right. Like, if he's the 7th or 8th guy on a regular basis, if he's, you know, like he plays Sam Hauser level minutes.
That's a good jump for next year.
It is. It is a good jump because next year should be all about the consistency, right? He did it in fits and spurts this past year. This coming season, it should be do what you did last year, but every single night and be consistent about it. And then the year after that is when you start to see another jump. And that's the progression that you hope that he can have. So anyway, it's Summer League. So here we are talking about it. And I think we've talked enough about it.
That's a solid 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah. Brought to you by Premium Choice Broadband, local, family-owned, bringing affordable, high-speed internet to Maine for over a decade. Call or email and mention PCB the ticket. You get 1 month for free. For new residential customers, visit premiumchoicebroadband.com for details. And by Bangor Mall Cinema, Greater Bangor's favorite hometown theater for over 40 years. Bangor Mall Cinema, luxury recliners and upgraded food menu. Find showtimes, reserve your seat at yourneighborhoodtheater.com. Mike Bordick going to join us next here on The Drive. Brought to you by Union Street Towing. They've got you covered from breakdowns to lockouts. They'll get you moving fast. Call 942-4200. Union Street Towing. Driven to be there when you need them the most. Also brought to you by Fat Panda Boba Tea and Market on Harlow Street in Bangor next to Goslin's Bakery. Sip fresh boba, explore snacks, ramen, and their tasty Jamaican patties. Also visit their brewer location, Wilson Street, next to Hannaford. Let's go to our Heroes Hotline now to check in with Mike Bordick, 14-year Major League Baseball player. Black Bear, former Mainer as well, just all the things, Mike Bordick.
Never a former Mainer.
That's true. Once you're a Mainer, you're always a Mainer. And I sometimes fit that former in there, and I really shouldn't, because even though you don't live in Maine now, Mike, you're always a Mainer at heart, right? Once you eat lobster and things like that, you're always a Mainer.
You got that right, guys. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, a trait that I inherited from all the great people from Maine. My mom was an original Mainer. My wife, born and raised in Maine, grandparents, all that stuff. I got perseverance and grit from them, and really that's what I think Maine people are all about, man. And so I'm glad I inherited that, and Maine will always be considered home to me.
Yeah, and we've certainly seen over the past week or so from the players of the Red Sox some perseverance and grit. You had Chad Tracy right there, interim manager, speaking about that and grinding out some wins and winning a bunch of games before the All-Star break. And I believe we had you on since they fired Alex Cora. Is that correct? I think we've had you on since then.
I think May was last time, yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm curious for your thoughts on Chad Tracy and this iteration of the Boston Red Sox and if they've changed significantly over the past couple of weeks.
Well, definitely over the last couple of weeks, they found a way to win some ball games. I think, I guess every team, and I heard his comments there to go into the All-Star break. It's pretty amazing, if you ask me, that the Red Sox were able to sustain a winning streak for as bad as they look. And I say that in, I guess, a compliment, because everybody in Major League Baseball, except for maybe a couple teams, but everybody has shown their warts, that's for sure. But the state of the game and the mediocrity that's being played is it's embarrassing, I think. So teams go on these runs because of the volatility. I mean, it's just so inconsistent up and down. And I'm witnessing it right here in front of me with the Orioles. Very much the same. And I know for a fact that Alvarez, a Massachusetts guy, New England guy, had the same message that Tracy had with his guys. This is the first time the Orioles got on a 4-game win streak, and now they're thinking that, okay, we got this, so let's come back the second half ready to go. So, the Red Sox manager, the Orioles manager, and 90% of these teams that are all in the midst of mediocrity, below average teams, had the same message that everybody's got a chance. So whoever can find a way, whether it be the Red Sox or Orioles or whoever, that can really play consistent baseball, what it's supposed to be a major leaguer, which means run the bases correctly, catch the ball when, you get a ground ball. And obviously for pitchers, the ability to throw strikes, but also too, who gets healthiest first. I think so many teams have been just decimated with injuries, and the Red Sox certainly won, two of the big horses, and I don't even know what their state is right now. But so many teams, obviously, the injury bug has gotten them. So, I hope they find a way to keep their product healthy or healthier.
Yeah, I mean, talking about clean baseball the way it's supposed to be played, along those lines, I saw a stat today that this is the first time the Red Sox have executed a sacrifice bunt in 6 straight games since the early 90s, and they haven't done so in 7 straight games since the mid-40s.
With their 5-hitter yesterday.
I know. They're bunting all over the lineup. They're bunting guys to third to hit a sac fly to win in extras. To Mike's point, we saw the Mets and their shoddy defense hand the game over to the Red Sox yesterday, but Mike, do you think the volatility that you're talking about, is it good for the game having most of the American League in the wild card chase right now, but only 2 of those teams being over 500?
Well, I guess it's going to keep, ultimately, it just keeps more teams and fans interested. And if that's the way the game is, then I guess it might be good for the game. Because really, even the worst teams have an outside shot if they go on a run. You know what I'm saying? Look where the Red Sox were just a couple weeks ago, and they just flew by the Orioles, and now everybody's kind of bunched in the middle talking about a wild card spot. Now they're the best team in baseball. Are you kidding me? I mean, golly, everybody's got to do a lot more to show consistency, or they're just taking their chances. The team that can actually, like you said, play the game better, get a bunt down when you have to, understand really the game, is the team that's going to have the advantage. And I think there are a lot of teams that are still stuck in, and I think the Orioles are one of them, even though Alvarez had this team bunt a little bit, trying to play for the home run. It's either the home run or the walk or the strikeout, instead of just playing the game, playing the scoreboard, And I know the Red Sox have done that recently, and now you're asking guys to do that. Change their game instead of just step in the box and be a swinger. How about be a hitter and play the game and watch teams hit and run? And you know why? Because teams can't defend it. They don't know how to. They haven't practiced it for 10 years. So the team that learns how to play the game the fastest will win.
You sound like, I mean, we're living in a world where there are 3 wildcard teams and mediocrity is, in fact, rewarded. But it sounds like you're like me, Mike, and that you're kind of not enjoying that so much because it felt like the postseason meant something. And now when you look at teams a game, 2 games under 500 that are clearly not particularly good baseball teams that are either in the playoffs or genuinely think they have a shot at the playoffs, it feels watered down. It just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I was watching a podcast. My buddy Will Clark, man, came out and said, "Oh, here we go. Everybody gets a medal." And that's just the way MLB is right now. It is just the land of mediocrity. And, I don't know. This is how they built it. This is what they wanted. And, I don't feel good about it. I mean, you hear some things, some older players, guys that, I don't know. I guess we played even though we played in a freaking steroid era. So I was going to say that's not the golden era, but at least the game was played where you could break up double plays and errors mattered and pitch counts really didn't as much. And there was a more understanding of where guys played and guys had roles. And now it's like, okay, here are all the same players, guys that swing hard and strike out a lot and don't know how to play defense. And that's it, man. And you take your chances with that. And that's led to just a mess. And not only did they forget about teaching guys how to run bases in the minor leagues, but, how to actually be professional. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. And I think the standard is certainly lowered through the amount of injuries. They're trying to rush all these young guys through. They're really, I think the evaluation process is just, it's so limited to just the draft. So they say, okay, he's a top pick, so let him go. And next thing you know, every team's trying to develop 20 and 21-year-old guys in the major leagues, and you're just seeing mistakes all over the place. And now with all the injuries, you're just seeing it's just a glorified minor league, to be honest with you, because the mistakes, the walks are just rampant. It is a hard game to watch, man. You want your home team to win, which is fun, but from a traditional sense, I mean, it's a hard game to look at and say, well, these guys really know how to play the game. I mean, balls are rolling around all over the place.
Talking with former Major League veteran Mike Bordick on the Heroes Hotline. We are breaking for the All-Star break right now, so no countable baseball games for the next 4 nights. You get the Home Run Derby tonight, the Midsummer Classic tomorrow night. I'm just curious on your perspective of the Major League Baseball All-Star Game as someone who went there during his career. Is that, as far as feather in the caps rank, right up there from your playing career?
Oh, heck yeah, man. Yeah, it's awesome. Listen, this great game is absolutely driven by the stars. There's no doubt about it, like Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout for so long, the great stars, obviously, that have worn the Red Sox uniforms. But, then again, they're the guys that, come out of the blue, and all of a sudden they're having that solid year, and they get to go to the All-Star game. Much like World Series and playoffs aren't guaranteed, an All-Star appearance isn't guaranteed as well. So, you hope everybody appreciates the opportunity and is thankful to go and represent their team, their city, in the All-Star game, because it really is important. I mean, listen, man, what they do is incredible on the field. These are some of the most gifted athletes in the world, even though I bash them. Still think baseball, hitting a baseball, fielding a baseball is really hard, man, and play the game right. So, yeah, I appreciate the All-Star game, and I like how it's set up. I do. I think it's there is an advantage for guys to come out there and play hard, and I think everybody wants to show well anyway. But I don't know. I'm excited about the Home Run Derby too, because listen, they hit these juice balls right now playing. They hit the old 1990s juiced ball home run derby balls every night, and you're seeing home runs go 450 feet. they tighten them up just a little bit more, man. These dudes that are playing nowadays are all monsters. I mean, they are like 6'5" and up, incredible extension. And when they catch a ball right, we're going to see so many balls go over 500 feet. And I'm telling you, it's going to be fun to watch.
Going back to the All-Star game really quickly, and you talked about the pride of being there and representing your city. I'm curious for your thoughts on Zach Wheeler, the Phillies pitcher. Of course, the game is in Philadelphia, who said no thanks. He wasn't on the initial roster. They added him after having a very good season, but said no thank you. I'd rather not be an All-Star if I can't make the team the original way and be added on later on. I'm curious for your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I guess I admire that and respect that. He is a monster pitcher, and why he didn't get put on the first round, I would take offense to that too, man. This dude's been around a while. He's the Phillies ace. I mean, this guy's a stud, and for him to get snubbed is like, what the heck is going on? And especially being played in the Phillies. So I don't blame him one bit, to be honest with you, and I think it's good for Phillies fans. Even though they want to see him there, I think they respect that kind of stuff more, and they're like, all right, let's stick it to the rest of the league, for this and show them. And the Phillies need that kind of edge. And they've always been that type of team and that kind of fan base. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me that he turned it down. He's been there before. Yeah, guys want to deserve it. But when you're like a piece of poop like me playing, listen, the only reason I got in is because Alex Rodriguez said, I'm a little sore, I don't want to play. And Joe Torre put me on the lineup. Listen, it was Derek Jeter and Nomar Garciaparra and Alex Rodriguez, and then Alex bowed out. And I was having one of the best years I ever had in my life, and Joe Torre, thank goodness, put me on. So I'm really thankful for that, and I wasn't about to say, no thanks, I don't want to go to the All-Star game. I appreciated every moment. My daughter got to go with me. It was awesome. We had a blast.
Yeah. Hey, before we let you go, a very selfish question on my part, but 10, 15 seconds is all I need. What's up with Taylor Ward? Why isn't he hitting home runs? Can you make him hit home runs? Because I need home runs for my fantasy team. And I drafted him thinking he would hit him because, last year with LA, he hit a ton. And this year, he's just walking.
Well, I'll tell you what. You're about to send me on another rant because as an Oriole fan and a guy that talks about this team, this might be one of the biggest disappointments ever. This guy hit almost over 60 home runs in 2 years. The reason they signed him was for more right-handed power. O'Neill, your former Red Sox, is a bust. He finally hit a couple home runs the other day. They went out and got Pete Alonso because it's hard to hit home runs there at Camden Yards. Next thing you know, he's turning into freaking Rod Carew, and he's got more walks than anybody in baseball right now, but he can't. He just hit his first Camden Yard home run like 2 days ago.
Oh, I know.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm right there with you. Listen, I'm not making any money on this, but yeah, he needs to hit home runs, and he better start backlegging some pitches the second half because this is not what they signed him up for. And shame on the Orioles if they don't straight up tell him that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike.
Aaron, I questioned your question, but it brought some passion out of Mike.
I loved it. I knew that it would because, listen, they signed the guy, and that was a big deal for him. They signed or traded, whatever they did to bring him in, and it's like, he's walking. He's got a great on-base percentage, but that doesn't help me at all, and it doesn't seem to be helping the Orioles a whole heck of a lot either.
No, and he's station to station. If he could steal, I'd say, yeah, that's great, man. But golly, he can't even barely run the bases.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Mike. We appreciate it, as always.
All right, you guys. Thanks for having me.
Mike Bordick right there, former Major League Baseball All-Star. He made that. It doesn't say how you made it there. It just says you did.
Just like a bloop double in the box score is ripped off the wall.
That's right.
Mike Bordick is an All-Star.
That's right.
14-year MLB vet, All-Star, full stop.
Yeah.
Who else can say those two things?
Former Black Bear. And a Mainer. Not a former Mainer, but always a Mainer.
Yeah, no, we hang on to those.
Yeah. Hey, we're brought to you by the 2026 Ticket Awards. The third annual Ticket Awards are available on demand. 35 categories of excellence in the 2025-26 sports season. Watch it at 929theticket.com on the Ticket app and on YouTube. I'm happy that he was upset as I am about Taylor Ward and his lack of production. I have another text that said, I believe, from friend of the show, Bert. I told him he needs to call in. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He says he doesn't have service. I think he's listening right now.
We got 1.5 believers
in his vehicle, and he just doesn't want to call in. I know you better than that, Bird. You can do it. Call in. All right, 992-9029.
A little late on time this hour. Let's push off the home run derby thing until the top of the 5, and we'll open up the phone lines next segment. If anyone's believing in the Red Sox again, we have one certain believer.
Yeah, Peter.
Peter from the first hour.
Peter driving somewhere, forgot where.
Driving into Hancock.
That's the one, yep.
Oh, neither of us are going to talk for the rest of the... All right, break coming up.
Ken Rosenthal right there talking about the Red Sox and that they are going to be looking to be buyers in the deadline. It does make sense that Craig Breslow would certainly want that because you got to think his job is on the line here. And, maybe they're doing it for him. Maybe that's why they just won 9 in a row.
Just like doing it for the skipper, except now they're doing it for the skipper.
Right. Hey, we're brought to you by Madden Generator Services with expert installation, dependable maintenance, and a free 7-year warranty on new Generac installs. They'll keep your home in the game. Call 951-4668 Madden Generator Services. Power you can count on. Here's the problem that I see is if they were to try to be buyers outside of Franklin Arias, I'm not sure they've got a lot in their minors that are going to really excite people. Like you look at their rankings right now and their prospects are they don't have a lot going on. And the reason they don't have a lot going on is because they're all in the majors.
Yeah, it's a little...
Slim pickings.
Yeah, a little slimmer than it has been in the last few years. Jeff Passan, though, recently ranked the Red Sox as the best fit for Jeremy Pena, former Black Bear shortstop, Rhode Island native.
Great defensive player, has figured it out offensively.
Former World Series MVP in his rookie season. He's 28 years old. Injuries have kind of been an issue the last 2 years. Not kind of. He's been limited to 51 games this year, 125 games last year. So he's already missed like 80 games right there in the last season and a half. And he's kind of at the end of his arbitration cycle, so he's owed his first real money contract extension. 28 years old. He did hit 304 with 17 homers last year, 287 with 6 homers this year. I know the injuries are a thing, but if there is a deal to be swung there for Jeremy Pena, bring him to town.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good pickup, I think. And I don't just say that because he is a former Black Bear. I say that because he's been a very productive player when he's healthy. Unlike, say, when they signed Trevor Story, who was not overly productive for a lot of his career and also very injured.
And Meyer's still improving.
Right.
He's more injured than productive.
But if you're going to say to me, well, in order to get that deal done, you've got to give up Franklin Arias. That's a hard pass from me. It just is. I just don't... Like, he looks so bored in Portland right now. He's hitting like 330, like 17 homers.
The numbers are insane.
I've got to think that like it's because of his proximity to Boston that they're willing to leave him there, or maybe there's got to be something, like maybe he's just very comfortable there as to why he hasn't been called up yet. But to me, like he's on the verge, and I'm not trading a guy on the verge at the same position for Jeremy Pena and then having to give up a bunch of money. If you're willing to take less than Arias, I'm listening. Sure. If you want Christian Campbell, he's under team control for a long time.
Send that contract off.
You got a
lot of starting pitching, but do you really want to throw any of that into trades?
Well, that's the problem. Is again, like you look at who they have available.
All of a sudden, you don't want to trade Jake Bennett, do you?
Right,
because you're thinking, "Whoa, I like the last month that he just put up."
I would though. Like if you're saying to me, "Hey, Jeremy Pena for Jake Bennett," and he's
sure.
I mean, listen. If you're saying that you knew who he was before the start of the season, I think you're probably lying to yourself. Like he was not a highly touted prospect. He was not a guy that they expected.
He was touted. I wouldn't say highly touted.
Not highly. Yeah. Like he's a notch below Early and Tolle.
Yeah. However
you want to rank them, he was a pretty distant third. And so this is a situation where remember when Cutter Crawford came up, like maybe you strike while the iron is hot. Now that's not to say he is Cutter Crawford. I'm just saying I think he's pitching a little bit above his head right now. And this would be a good time. I would be happy to.
It'd be a bold move though, like 8-10 starts into a guy's career, whatever it is, he's flashing, and you trade him out.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to trust your internal scouting department that should know these guys in and out, and if they know, like he profiled as a back-of-the-rotation guy and he's pitching as an ace, strike while that iron is hot. Make it happen. So, I don't know. You look at their minors and you think everything is in the majors, and they need everything in the majors in order to succeed.
Brian Bayo pitched a real nice 4 1/3 innings of relief yesterday. Brian Bayo, Jeremy Pena, make it happen.
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. Yeah, absolutely. Him or Jake Bennett. Frankly, if they said, like, we want Marcelo Meyer, I'm not saying no to that. Like, I understand, like, he's been highly touted and all the things, but if you can give me Jeremy Pena for Marcelo Meyer, yeah, I'll take it.
What about a team?
I don't think they would do that.
This is one that probably wouldn't happen because it would it would just hurt them too much. But what if a team in that scenario came to the Red Sox and said, you give us Sonny Gray, we'll give you a hitter. We'll make a move that you don't normally see at the deadline because you have this excess of starting pitching. Sonny Gray is still as good as there is to be had out there. And if you're the Red Sox, you almost desperately need the bat more. I might make the case that you need a bat. Now, I don't know if Jeremy Pena is that bat to tip the scales away from Sonny Gray. But at some point, there is a bat that outweighs what Sonny Gray is giving you every fifth day.
I think he would, because not only is he a bat, but he also fits in nicely with the profile of what you need, which is a middle infielder. Not only are you getting yourself a premium bat, but you're doing so at a position that you can slot him in right away and know that you're good to go. And you're going to have a huge upgrade. Like if you trade for an outfielder right now, you're not going to get a significant upgrade. Well, maybe over Jarren Duran, because let's be honest, he's still under 200. But
is that an avenue to explore this deadline?
I don't think the Astros would go for it.
But they are a team that has zero pitching.
That's true.
It's been their bats that's got them to this point.
Atlanta seemed to be very interested in Sonny Gray. I'm wondering if there's a move that could be made there.
Again, the only name I see come up when talking to Atlanta is Drake Baldwin, and there's a 0% chance that they're dealing Drake Baldwin. Yeah, he's too good of a player.
Maybe they think he's like Jake Bennett. He's playing over his head. Strike while the iron's hot. They have Sean Murphy, who has been a good catcher over the course of his career. So Drake Baldwin's a bit of a luxury. Or maybe they move Sean Murphy. I don't know.
Yeah, I would need a little more than that, though, for Sonny Gray.
Yeah, I don't think I would. Make it happen. I don't know what his numbers are this year, so I would have to look before saying that. But, Sonny Gray is a rental. And Sean Murphy, I would imagine, is locked up for a few more years and has been a very good player over the course of his career, despite the fact that he hasn't played much this year.
He has one hit. He is 1 for 14 this year.
Why is that?
I am not trading Sonny Gray for that.
So they need Drake Baldwin, is what you're saying. So
they need Drake Baldwin.
He's significantly worse. That's why they were playing Sandy Leon the other day. That's how bad it is for Sean Murphy. All right, well, I stand corrected then. I guess this is, I don't know what's going on there. He must be hurt, right?
Whatever is the case, he's not getting on the field.
Yeah. Brought to you by Casella, good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerofhardwork.com and Dairy Queen of Old Town. The DQ $7 chicken strip meal deal has it all. 100% white meat chicken, full-size fries, a drink, and a DQ sundae, all for just $7. Visit 613 Stillwater Avenue in Old Town to get that meal deal. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the Drive at 5. We're going to do the Home Run Derby contest next. Is that right? So give us a call, 992-9029. I'll get the Bucket of Wonder ready. It's simple. You call us. We pick a name out of the hat. You have them for the Home Run Derby. If you and your selected person win the Home Run Derby, you get $25 to Heroes and 2 movie passes.
So how about this? Caller 1 that gets through, you get to pick your contestant.
Ooh.
Everyone else gets drawn. Caller 1 gets their choice of the field.
992-9029. We'll do that next on The Drive.